Good afternoon. Today, I'm going to continue discussing marketing of your animals once you get to a point where you're ready to sell your animals. You've gone out, you've purchased your property, you've got your homestead started, you've got your cows all bought, you've got your calves on the ground. Now what are you going to do? How are you going to sell these animals to start returning some cash flow back into your homestead to recoup some of the money that you've put out? So today I'm going to cover a couple of different options that I've not covered yet. If you've not seen any of this series, I recommend that you go back and look at part 1 and part 2 to get a good idea of kind of the old standard means of selling your beef products. And a second option in part 2, in part 2, I give you 2 different options that are also relatively fast and easy as well. Today I'm going to cover something that is more entrepreneurial, as in you're going to actually start marketing your products and selling them as from your homestead, and creating a brand and creating a business that you can do from your home. And so in the first 2 of the series, I covered selling your animals at the livestock auction, at the sale barn. That was pretty much the first part. That was part 1 of this series. In part 2 of this series, I spoke of selling your animals directly to a local butcher if they're interested in purchasing your animals. If they weren't interested in purchasing calves at this point in time, generally they will have a list of buyers that you can just contact directly and make a private sale with those local people that may want to purchase a whole beef or a side of beef. I gave some of the information on how those sales typically take place, and the means of weight and payment under both of those situations. Today I'm going to start covering a different method, basically starting to actually market your animals, your homestead, and your products. So far, I've not discussed social media at all. In today's age, with all kinds of different social media and different things like that, there are multiple different things you can do to create your business and to market your animals locally by yourself without spending a bunch of money or anything like that. If this is the method that you would like to go about, you're going to keep your animals a little longer. You're going to finish these animals yourselves, meaning you're keeping your animals out until they get anywhere from 1,000 to 1,300, 1,400 pounds. Hi, buddy. Hi there. Hi there, you. What are you doing? So now that you've got your animals, if you decide to go this route, you're going to finish your animals somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500 pounds, depending on what you decide is going to be the best product for you and your homestead. So you're going to get these animals grown. You're going to finish your animals so that they've got good muscling. They're very well filled out. They've also got a good layer of fat and good marbling in the meat itself. Now, this is where you need to start determining if you're going to market your animals as strictly grass-fed, or if they're grass-fed and grain finished, if they're pastured and just grass-fed on a pasture, or however you decide to market your animals. You can sell your animals however you like and what works best for you. And that's important to know. That's why you've started your own homestead, was to create an animal or a product that you want to eat the way you want to develop your animals. If you decide that you only want grass-fed beef for your family or to sell, you can surely do that. And that's something that you're going to have to consider. What I would recommend is, if you're going to market the animals yourself in this type of a method, would you stop? Ay, ay. Sorry about that. If you decide you're going to market your animals as grass-fed animals or whatever you're going to do, then I recommend that that's something that you follow that route. So if you're going to do this, the first things I would recommend is once you purchase your homestead and you've got your cattle and you're starting into this aspect, raising beef for sale, I would highly recommend you start getting on things like Facebook, creating a brand for your homestead and starting to maybe not market the beef itself right away, but to start advertising and having people follow, build a following of people following your homestead before you ever get to your beef products, before they ever become ready. Now you've already established a following. You can start showing pictures of your cows, of your calves, of your cows as they, of your calves as they grow, as they get closer to finishing. Say you're going to, if you're going to grain finish your beef, and you decide that you only want to sell them as a whole beef or a side of beef, as you start grain finishing, generally you'll go anywhere from 60 to 90 days. So as you're getting close to that point, I would start selling or advertising that, hey, I'm starting to finish my steers or my heifers or whatever. My animals will be ready in 90 days, and I'm starting to take orders for a whole beef or half a beef now. So I wouldn't advertise at the very beginning because you're going to actually lose customers in the long run. You're going to basically say, we're going to be selling beef. You've just purchased your cows. People are going to start contacting you and you're not ready. You haven't even had your first calves. So I wouldn't start advertising as selling beef until you start getting close to the finishing stage. I would start my Facebook page or whatever it may be so that people start following you and you basically are building up a clientele, if you will, of prospective buyers. And you'll have those people already listed and following you as you get closer to the point that you're going to be selling your whole beef or your side of beef or however you decide to do so. As you go to the point where you're starting to finish, which again is going to be somewhere around 60 to 90 days before they're ready, at that point, you may decide to start advertising because that's a good time. That's a good time frame. It gives people time to see that you're going to be selling your beef or whatever. And some people may need a little bit of time to come up with the money. Some people may not have seen your ad right away or whatever. So as you start finishing, that's going to give you time to get the advertisement out there. People are going to know about it and you'll sell the product before you have your animals taken in. Everyone will know that there's going to be, 2 to 3 months before the animals are ready. Additionally, like in my area, there is a local page just for our community itself. So if I want to sell my animals here locally, say I'll use this guy because he's right here. Say I have this steer right here who's actually starting to get close. I'm going to start finishing him here right here as soon as I get everybody worked when I get back from town. But if I'm going to keep a half of this guy for myself in my local community, I can advertise that, hey, I've got a side of beef in 90 days. He'll be ready. I'm starting to put him on grain now. So he'll be ready in 90 days. And within my local community, someone will typically purchase him from me at that point. Also in our local area, what I'll say is the Bighorn Basin, people have a lot of different classified ads and you can advertise pretty much whatever you'd like. And you can also advertise at in the classified ads there. So this is another option if you are going to keep your animals and sell them as strictly a side of beef or a whole beef. In my next, in part 4 of this series, I'm going to, hi buddy, hi buddy, there's another nose, hi buddy. Yeah, I don't have anything, I'm sorry. I know, it's pretty sad. In part 4 of the series, I've got a couple of different ideas for you as well that you can also use if you have maybe some more freezer space, or you have some different ideas for people who may not have the freezer space themselves for a whole beef or a side of beef. So come back and check out part 4, and we'll see you on the next one.